Imagine this: the quiet halls of Oxford and Cambridge University, ancient libraries holding centuries of knowledge, students walking through cobblestone paths, laughing, debating, planning their futures. Then, suddenly, screams echo through the courtyards. A student falls, shaking violently, and when he rises, his eyes are pale, his mouth dripping blood, and he lunges at his friends. Within minutes, one of the world's oldest centers of learning has turned into the birthplace of a nightmare. What would you do if the brightest minds in Britain became the first victims of a zombie outbreak? Oxford and Cambridge are more than universities. They are symbols of intelligence, tradition, and power. World leaders, scientists, and Nobel Prize winners walked through their doors. But now picture those same doors breaking open as infected students rush out, biting, spreading chaos. Classrooms turn into cages, libraries into hunting grounds. Professors who once taught Shakespeare and Einstein are now chasing their own students with broken jaws and twisted limbs. The infection spreads like wildfire, faster than security or police can react. The question is, could anyone stop it? The outbreak would begin silently. Maybe a new experiment in a medical lab gone wrong. Maybe a strange infection brought back from a student's trip overseas. At first, doctors at the campus hospital would think it was food poisoning or a seizure. But when patients begin attacking staff, biting, and showing no pain even after being restrained, the truth would come out too late. Inside Oxford's Bodleian Library or Cambridge's King's College Chapel, history would witness its most horrifying chapter. Now imagine the students, thousands of young people, many from around the world, trapped inside medieval buildings with narrow hallways and locked wooden doors. They would try to barricade themselves inside dorm rooms using chairs and desks. Phones would light up as desperate calls go to parents, governments, even embassies. But the infection spreads faster than news can travel. One moment you're studying with your roommate. The next, they're snarling at you with blood-stained teeth. What would you do in that moment? Run, fight, or hide? Outside the universities, panic would spread through the UK. These cities are not isolated. Cambridge is an hour from London. Oxford, even closer. Trains, buses, and highways would carry the infection straight into the heart of Britain's capital. Imagine zombies pouring into London's underground stations, chasing commuters, breaking through crowded double-decker buses. Tourists at Buckingham Palace running for their lives. The infection wouldn't stay in the ivory towers. It would devour the entire nation. The government would react quickly. Police would lock down campuses, trying to seal off the infected. The British Army might roll tanks through Oxford streets, cutting off bridges and roads. Helicopters would circle above, warning people to stay inside. But the question is, could they really contain it? In a world where one infected bite can turn someone in minutes, even soldiers would struggle. And with Oxford and Cambridge holding so many international students, the risk of this plague crossing borders would be terrifying. Imagine a student fleeing home to America, China, or India before showing symptoms. In just days, the world's smartest campuses could turn into ground zero for a global apocalypse. But there is another twist. Oxford and Cambridge are not only schools, they are research giants. Inside their labs are experts in medicine, genetics, and biology. Could the same places that created the outbreak also hold the key to stopping it? Imagine scientists working under lockdown, racing against time to create a cure while zombies pound on the laboratory doors. Could they save the world, or would knowledge itself die in the same halls where it was born? The emotional cost would be unbearable. Parents watching the news, knowing their children are trapped inside. Professors who dedicated their lives to teaching, now remembered as part of a massacre. Centuries of history, books, and culture gone up in flames as soldiers torch infected buildings to stop the spread. The heart of British education lost forever. And yet, this scenario forces us to think. What if the next great global threat doesn't come from war or climate change, but from something as strange and horrifying as the undead? Would governments be ready? Would science move fast enough? And most importantly, would ordinary people, people like you, have the courage to survive when civilization itself begins to crumble? The story of zombies at Oxford and Cambridge is not just horror. It is a question about the fragility of human progress. These universities stand for everything we believe is strong, permanent, and untouchable. But in one night, even the strongest walls could fall. And if it could happen there, it could happen anywhere. So the next time you walk through a campus, hear the chatter of students, or see a professor carrying books across a courtyard, ask yourself, what if this place, this safe haven of learning, became the starting point of the end of the world? Because if knowledge itself can turn to chaos, then no city, no country, no future is safe. This is Think What If.